Coliseum CTF. Definitely a map that kind of solidified something throughout the rest of the series. With that sniper, with the rockets, if a team gets on that hot streak, they can quickly, potentially end that game within minutes. We've seen Optic Gaming end a game in under 2 minutes before, just cap after cap after cap.
Looks like we are live here in game number 1. I actually wanted to start this one off with Cristola because most of the time on the Invistus side, he's the man to grab the rockets for this team, and more often than not, he will be the one to secure the weapon and do so successfully. But it looks like actually both power weapons going in favor of the French squad. It was SLG to grab the snipe. He was taken down, but the man we're on board with right now, Solar, has the rockets in his possession and has already taken down one. Jimbo was pulling his flag, but Solar's taken him down.
All right, Solar does go down with those weapons, but SLG does find the sniper. He immediately gets taken down, but their flag is pulled. 2 goes down for Invictus, but there are a few players there ready to keep that flag rally going. Both flags are out. Snipe drone does get spotted by a grenade, so his position is revealed. He's trying to pick up a kill. There's going to be a second player gunning for him, making that push. Nice grenade to push him out of that corner. Punisher is keeping him weak. Now, let's see if he's going to be able to get that trade. Snipe drone showing why he is one of the best individually skilled players in Europe. Staying alive, being a nuisance back in that corner. Over to Fragger. What a no-scope Fragger. Taking down Ramirez and staying alive. Getting ready to push into the base. He finds his teammate there right next to him as they make this push in over towards that snipe side. A big kill there. Not going to be able to happen. So that is going to stop that push. Big kill from Cristola to take him down. Wonderboy, what else are you seeing here?
Well, I was going to praise the play from Snipe Drone to stay alive on the elbow, but then Fragger completely just erased that play and kind of brought the momentum back onto the side of Supremacy, but he's been taken down. Cristola has the sniper now, and this is kind of the position with the rockets coming up in 10 seconds where you'll see both teams make a decision. Do they keep fighting over this sniper tower as Cristola picks up 2 in a row? That's going to help his team out. Or do they try and rotate around to the rockets, try and get that power weapon, and try and get the return that way? It looks like Cristola is going to ignore the rockets this time around and just try and go straight for that return.
He does have a plasma grenade. Could go for the combat evolve. 2 players here pushing up from Supremacy, though. Cristola's got to back down, tries to push up, get the beat down, not going to be able to connect with that or the plasma grenade. You've got SLG getting some eyes on the rockets, trying to give some cover, and that's what you like to see. The flag guy not just sitting back and doing nothing, he's able to put some shots and put on a little bit of more aggression. And look at this, you're going to see Supremacy make their way to top rockets and potentially get these rockets any moment. That's going to be 1 down for Invictus, and I believe those rockets are still sitting up, actually. Jimbo keeping that flag alive, just getting a touch, waiting for his teammates to spawn up. Rockets still sitting up there. Sniper coming up in just about 15 seconds as well. Now Supremacy's able to get a hold of those rockets. That's going to be Punisher. Jimbo trying to sneak up behind SLG. He's going to deny him, and that sniper looks like it will be going into the hands of Supremacy, so they will soon have rockets. Excuse me, Punisher did go down, so those rockets are down, but the sniper in the hands of SLG, the last player you want to have the sniper if you are on Invictus. SLG pushing up, trying to get that no-scope, not going to connect. He gets taken down, and not a great push there actually from SLG.
Yeah, almost would have liked to see him back off a little bit sooner right there. We see Jimbo here with the sniper. He's just going to get this touch to reset the return time, but I actually want to highlight Ramirez right here. He has a really key flank around the elbow side of the map. His teammate going down, in fact, it was a trade between Cristola and Solar, so not the biggest issue, but Ramirez is kind of forced to be brought back right here. They really want some solid map control, and it's not surprising, honestly. I mean, when you're trying to get a return, you want to try and get as much map control as possible so you can flood as many numbers forward as is available to you. You can see Jimbo right here using that new radar to his advantage, catching a player off guard, but this is an interesting standoff. We've been in a standoff for around 2 minutes, and this is the first flag capture of the entire series, the first point on the board. So whoever grabs this capture or this return, honestly, it's going to give them the masses of confidence going forwards in this series.
Without a doubt, neither team wanting to give. SLG with the sniper, though, he picks up a kill. He realizes this is the opening. He's going in for the push, picks up the second kill, gets the return, but on the other side, that flag went down as well, and that flag will be returned. Jimbo has 3 rockets, though. This could be another opportunity where they can maybe push into the base and get a flag moving, but right as I say that, you see, Supremacy is already pushing that flag out as well. So Jimbo not really able to move around too much. He does pick up a kill on Solar, finds the double. He'll go down though, and those 2 rockets will go into the hands of a player. That's going to be Fragger.
Yeah, Fragger grabbing the rockets. You could see the kind of intent from Supremacy right there. As soon as they realized Jimbo had those rockets in his possession, just get behind the enemy team. But as we're saying that, check it out, Ramirez actually has the Supremacy flag in his own base. But yeah, coming back to that play though, as soon as they realized Jim had that power weapon in his possession, their entire intent was to try and distract him by pulling his flag. Ramirez with these rockets definitely could get the return right here, but can't quite get the kill off with the first one, and that honestly will cost him his life. And it looks like we could be in another standoff situation as Jimbo has the flag on the Invictus side, and we're on board with SLG with Invictus's own flag.
Back to where we were just 4 minutes ago.
We said these 2 teams would be even matched, Mike, and we're seeing that so far. 2 different standoffs in this game number 1.
Well, if you're at home watching in, let us know who you think is going to win. Tweet at us on Twitter using the hashtag HCS. Let us know in the Twitch chat, Mixer chat, what you think. Let us know if it's Invictus or Supremacy. Who do you think is going to win this series? Because this standoff is just coming to an end here as we see Invictus get that flag return and get flag cap number 1 on the board.
Wow, that was so lucky for Jimbo, honestly. He was kind of pushed up a little bit too aggressive for my liking with that flag. His team got the return effectively. They did it. They did their job. Cristola winning a key battle, got the return, but then when we swapped over to Jimbo with the flag, honestly, he was pushed up way too far. And if Solar and the boys were a little bit more aggressive, they could potentially have gotten a return right there. But as we're saying that, Solar is running the flag himself, and looks like we're going to be all tied up. Back to square number 1.
Back to where we were 6 minutes ago. Back to the beginning. So Invictus did get that flag cap, but they had to give up all their lives to get that flag cap. So Supremacy was right there just to get that counter flag cap and tie it all up. So definitely something interesting to look at when Invictus is trying to bring the flag back to maybe try your best to stay alive a little bit better. Obviously, these are 2 top teams, but over to Jimbo as he's got the sniper. He spots 1 player, spots the second. He's going to double back. Punisher flying out. Jimbo's going to punish him, take him down to pick down 2 players from Supremacy. Fraggers will spot Jimbo and be able to get that sniper. Rockets in the hands of Ramirez. This could be a good flank here. The opts to go all the way around because he's got Cristola here moving this flag all the way back. Now you see every player here pushing back with the flag all the way back into the base. What a rally. Cristola getting the help from all of his teammates, cutting off every single route. What a play. Yeah, really nice, honestly, from Ramirez to back off in the base. As soon as he got that first kill on the flag, he knew he had Cristola with him. So he basically just backed off, knew all he had to do was solidify that elbow position, make sure none of the Supremacy players were spawning there so that Cristola could run that flag. That's exactly what happened, and they will take the lead in this series 2-1. Really nice flag run right there from Cristola and Ramirez. All 4 down for Invictus, though. Supremacy is trying to get that flag back and get over into the base now that they have all 4 down. Rockets are coming up as well, so if they can get their hands on those, that would be greatly helpful. Yeah, most certainly, and at the moment, with 4 minutes left, Invictus still kind of pushing the pace right here. Ramirez is running the flag again, but you can see in the kill feed, 3 kills in a row for Supremacy, and they're running a flag of their own. Watch out for SLG right here. They do need the return, so Invictus wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of playing for this right here. In fact, they've spawned on the wrong side of the map, it looks like. In fact, no, it's going to be Sniper to try and run that as far as possible out in the open so his teammates can bait that, but oh, it's going to be Cristola actually on the return. He will be killed before he gets it. Is there a Supremacy player in position though? It looks like it is going to be Frag, gonna pick that one up. Does keeps
get
it
the
alive,
touch, but will go down, Mike.
He keeps that flag alive, and that's such a hard flag to get a return on because it's so easy to spot that flag. You can get shots, you can get grenades on that flag. It is nearly impossible sometimes to get that flag back into your base. They get another touch to get that reset, but they had put too much focus towards that. We're not able to get any slays, and what a play there from Invictus. I believe they are running this flag back, about to cap flag number 3. Supremacy just all out charging, trying to get into that base, but they are not going to be able to do so. Invictus lay down the law, 3-1, taking game number 1 against Supremacy.
Wow, that was quite the game. We spoke about the first couple of standoffs. If you draw first blood, it's definitely going to give you momentum going into the rest of the series, and it's going to be the boys from the UK, the second place European Pro League team, Invictus taking game number 1. We'll take a quick little gander at the stats. Jimbo, take my bimbo. 22 kills from Jimbo. That's the kind of performance we want to see. We spoke about Ramirez being that in-game leader who sometimes doesn't step up in the slaying department. A -10 spread from him, but he had a lot of assists in that game as well, and no doubt was calling the shots for his team. And Invictus will take game number 1.
All right, well, we do have an update from the floor as well. The elimination bracket of relegation is going on. It is Straight Rippin' versus Wise Gaming. They are tied up in the series 2-2.
Wow.
Going into game number 5, which is Coliseum Slayer.
Oh, baby.
Straight just won game number 4, 100-0. Trying to stay alive there. They're going into game number 5. We'll have more updates for you soon later on, but back to this match, Invictus really kind of finishing off there towards the end. Definitely getting into some crazy flag standoffs, which we saw lasting about 3 to 4 minutes and then ending and then going right back into that flag standoff.
Yeah, and that kind of comes back to what we saw in the matchup in the first week of the regular season between these two teams. It was very evenly matched, and it was only minute mistakes we saw from the French side of Supremacy that really cost them that series. And if they're not careful, the same thing could be happening here at DreamHack Atlanta. So if you're the French squad, you need to make sure you're learning from that game number 1. Make sure the same thing doesn't happen twice in a row. You can't let the same mistakes that cost you the series in the regular season happen here at DreamHack as well, because otherwise your chances of advancing later on in the bracket are very, very slim as you drop down to the elimination bracket if you don't win this series.
Right, you are. So Supremacy not backs up against the wall yet. They still got plenty of time.
Yeah,
best of 5.
Games. Best of 5.
Best of 5.
It's a little warm-up game.
Nice little warm-up. Yeah, coming in from overseas. I mean, you know how that journey is.
Oh yeah, it's not great.
It takes what, like a day or 2 to kind of get acclimated to the time change?
I mean, I slept on the flight, so you know, I'm a pro traveler by now. I've done this a couple of times, but yeah, these guys, yeah, jet lag is a real thing. Pretty sure these guys will be acclimated to it by now. Worth noting that I was speaking to Supremacy's captain like backstage, and he said SLG said he wasn't feeling too great. He was a little bit tired, but man, in the last game that went off was Jimbo, and he really was putting up a star performance. I've been very critical of him in the past, him really stepping up in international tournaments as he does at Worlds on the big stage, but in domestic tournaments not really stepping up. Here we are at DreamHack Atlanta, kind of a mix of both on the international and kind of regional stage as well with the other European teams out here. He really went in that last game, and he's stepping up to the player that Invictus need him to be. It's Snipe Drone that really kind of overshadowed him in the regular season, Mike, but Jimbo really came into his own in that last game.
Yeah, and you know, talking about Jimbo's history too, I mean, competing at the Halo World Championship Finals in 2016 alongside the Bucks.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember this series, but they almost beat Optic Gaming.
Yeah, 3-2 it was.
It was a very close series, and the games were extremely close. There was moments where that squad, that was, I believe, Epsilon at the time. They were so close to beating Optic Gaming up in true CTF, but they slowly let Optic Gaming come back. And you know, Jimbo's one of those players, I just feel like he's one of the guys that does kind of everything. He's like too Foxy.
Yeah.
One of the European players that he does it all. He does objective. He's the guy that's kind of initiating the pushes. He can slay if he needs to, or he can be that guy kind of sneaking around and getting that flag initiated, getting that flag push.
Someone asked me actually about a week ago, who do you think is the best mechanically in Europe? I was talking about Shotzi as arguably the best mechanically talented players in the North American scene. Someone asked me the same thing about the European scene as we move into Eden Slayer. And I honestly think it is Jimbo. I want to start this game off with Jimbo because some of the jumps he does, he really puts a lot of time into learning the maps, learning the different routes and the different movements he can do on these types of maps. So just watch out for him using things like the Spartan Charge to evade enemies and using the ground pound to just try and get to areas quicker or just evade danger. So watch out for Jimbo using the mechanics of Halo 5 to his advantage in this game.
All right, well, Jimbo's kind of hanging back as Ramirez gets that overshield. He'll get hit to the body with that sniper, and you'll see SLG just sneak away back into blue base, but they're getting caught back there, and look at this. You'll see all the red outlines swarming over to blue base. Jimbo gets SLG down to one shot. Snipe Drone is able to finish him off, and on top of that, Jimbo does stay alive. I know we're here early in the match, but I really want to hear Invictus, their team work and their team callouts. So let's jump into an Astro. Listen in with Team Invictus.
I can hit the blue van. One's behind you though.
Let's stay alive, mate.
Two blue van, Mike, we got one kill leader. Two blue high. Check out the red corner. Two blue high, listen to this. I got SK. Snipe still outside. This guy went blue.
Gotta be on your alley already.
Minicut weak, boys. Minicut weak.
I'm gonna come red side there.
Sniping blue bed. Watch out, he's watching tower, Jim.
I'm gonna wrap red here, boys.
You got a new coming in me.
Should we play red tower? Play red and tower.
I'm at red.
This is really slow.
Yeah, blue eye. Can we just someone tower with me? I'm gonna get
Yeah, I'm tower with you. I'm tower with you.
Red outside.
I don't mind. Let him hit it. Do it, Ali.
Red fan.
Just slow payment, because if someone gets shots on red high, clean it. I'm literally in a good spot.
I'm in blue sniping. In blue sniping, lads.
Hey.
Top counter, new combo. Weak on Mike on red fan. 3 shots down. Poon it. In lobby. Me and Mike might be there, Chris. Stay alive, Chris.
Another guy, minicut weak.
Send these guys.
You come on, no. One shot in pit, guys. Mike, I'll push blue high. He's got snipe blue high, guys. Sniping blue high. Alright, I'm one shot. He's on blue set. Blue bend.
Blue high weak.
Blue one shot outside. Blue outside. One shot, guys. Love it.
Alright,
Mike, he's underneath blue sneaky. Went pit with snipe, guys. Pit. See him. Watch out. I got him.
Red turbine. Blue bend, I mean.
Wait. Mike, sing red high. Lens 4 tower. One's left side. We come blue bend. Guys.
Blue bend.
Red high to lobby. Guys.
Blue spawns, lads. Blue spawns.
I'm blocking it. I'm gonna block full red side.
Good over me.
When it hits, don't go through. Mike, come back.
Just hold numbers for overshot.
Blue sneaky, look at my screen. Blue sneaky, one shot. Chill out, please. Blue sneaky weak, nice.
Blue bend again on top there.
He's turbine.
Looking now. He's on it now.
45.
Oh shit, 1 second out. Minicat, guys, minicat. OS is up. Minicat, one shot, Fragger. Alright, OS is still there. Minicat, one shot, Fragger still. Two one shots on me. 2 1 shots. No 1 shot, Fragger. Nice, we got OS. Fragger's 1 shot. 1 shot, Minicat. I got it. I have the snipe. I'm hitting blue with you. We can speed up the tempo whenever we want it.
All right, there you had it. Invistus, some great communication between the squad, able to get that next overshield as well. Harry, anything stick out to you in particular?
Yeah, they were actually kind of frantically communicating in that game. You heard the leader of the team, Ramirez, saying, hey, let's chill out, lads. Come on, let's just relax right here. You know, we're still in game number 2 of this series. We're in a commanding position, and as a result of them kind of slowing down their communication, look at the baiting and switching that's happening now in terms of the small talk, and as well as them grabbing this sniper in the hands of Jimbo, which, by the way, was the old sniper that SLG had. Cristola has one of his own, but also they grabbed the overshield, like you said. And now look at the scoreline as well. Thanks to that power-up and those 2 power weapons, they're up by 12 kills here on Eden Slayer.
Wow, and actually we do have an update from the floor as well. Straight Rippin versus Wise Gaming in the elimination bracket of relegation. Straight is up 37-34 in Coliseum Slayer, trying to stay alive so they can fight for another day to compete in the Fall Pro League here in North America. So we'll have an update here on who is going to win that, or who wins that match here in just a moment. But Invistus really pulling away here. They were able to get those 2 snipers. Yes, Punisher was able to retrieve one of them, but that was the one that was nearly empty. So not going to really be able to help them out too much. But look at this push here from Supremacy, rotating around the map, but they can't really find anyone. They do spot one player, but most of Invistus, they were rotating around the other side. So they're all by tower and all by the far corner in red base.
Yeah, kind of a strange rotation there from Invistus. I can only imagine their kind of game plan right here is to get to tower, get to top catwalk, and then collapse on the overshield, which is coming up very soon from the height advantage from catwalk. So look for the Invistus squad to try and do that. Right now, Punisher on your screens is chasing kills a little bit too much. His teammates do have that turbine control. He's only kind of contesting one player right here, though. And if SLG goes down in turbine right here before he can get the overshield, this really could be curtains, as the Invistus squad will grab the overshield.
Jimbo does get the overshield. Again, I believe they've gotten every single overshield this game. So definitely not looking good for Supremacy right now.
I gotta say, Punisher, I mean, that's a really, really bad play. I mean, he was getting tunnel visioned in red while the overshield was coming up. That new combo, though, yeah, like you say, was absolutely drained by the plasma pistol, but then we saw Punisher kind of out in the open, bottom middle, no reason at all for him to be there, and he was just caught off guard. Check out the score now, over doubling the score of Supremacy, 32-15.
Invistus is just really feeling this game right now. They are just on fire. You know, Jimbo and, you know, this whole squad, it's like once they just get going, it's hard to stop them, especially against like the other EU teams. It's what we've seen them play in the EU Pro League. Once they kind of kickstart that engine, it's hard to stop them, and that's exactly what we're seeing. They're doubling the score, like you just said. Jimbo is just roaming around the map. It just feels like they're just non-stop charging it. They just have a bunch of aggression. They're even kind of just going off by themselves a little bit, but Jimbo's going to decide to hang back now as that sniper rifle is getting ready to come up. We do have about 30 to 40 seconds, actually a little bit more than that for that next overshield, but I think that's a big thing that really hurt Supremacy here in this game, wouldn't you say? I mean, they didn't get a single overshield.
Yeah, that's a big misplay from them. Usually they're on top of their power-ups. Honestly, again, I have to come back to that play from Punisher, just kind of chilling around red while his team were trying to fight around the turbine. Great collapse there from Invistus to get that power-up, and the sniper comes up right now. As you see, sniper rifle ready. It is on the map. Key kill there from Jimbo with the reversal. Be interesting to see who grabs the sniper rifle, but with your Supremacy, you need this turbine control and you need this overshield as well as the sniper to try and close this gap, because you only have 9 deaths left to play with as Invistus are on 41 kills.
Well, it does look like we may have a stake incoming. And you know, someone asked me earlier here at the venue, what is a stake? What does that mean? A stake is when you beat a team at least 50 to 30 or more. So if the one team has 30 kills or less, that's a stake right there.
Yeah, so check it out as well, Mike. Actually, it was Solo to grab the sniper right here. He retrieved it from one of the Invistus players who picked it up, but also Punisher has the overshield. We said if they want to get back into this game, Supremacy, they need both those things, and they got both of them as well. And check out the kill feed now. They are getting a couple of kills for their worth as well, but this might just be too little too late as Invistus, they're able to just catch players off guard and just get ever so close, ever so much closer to that 50-point mark where they will be winning the game.
Well, we've got a tweet here at the bottom of the screen. Human Trooper, Championship Saturday has been great. HCS matches have been awesome today. Hashtag HCS. Yes, they have been. We got a lot more epic matches ahead of us. And you know, folks at home, make sure you tweet at us. Maybe your tweet will be brought up on stream. Be sure to use the hashtag HCS. Let us know how you're liking the stream. Let us know what plays you think are sick. Or let us know your favorite team or favorite player, whatever it may be. Tweet at us and
favorite caster, Wonderboy. I mean, what? Sorry, you were saying?
Who's that?
What, Wonderboy? Oh, he's this great HCS caster. You probably wouldn't have heard of him. Solo does have the sniper at the moment though, but his team again is way too little, too late. 46 kills on the Invistus side. They are getting a little bit of momentum right here, but you can see those trades, those 2-for-1 trades, 2-for-2 are just not good enough, as like we said before, Invistus just kind of edging closer to that finishing line, and it looks like game 2 is going to be in their control.
Yeah, although Solar does have a decent amount of sniper, they did stop the stake from happening, but definitely this would be a miracle comeback. It's not very often you see something like that happen. It's 48 to 35. This is one of those moments where it's like charge because you can't lose. There's not much you can do. All they have to do is make a team push, get a few kills, and that's what they're going to do right there. Invistus is able to close out game number 2, going up in the series 2-0. So one more game will move them forward to the winner's bracket, round 2 of the championship bracket. Supremacy will need to win the next 3 games, and that's going to be a long road ahead for them. But we also have an update from the floor from Straight Rippin' versus Wise Gaming. It was game 5. Coliseum Slayer. Last update we had, it was 37 to 34 in favor of Straight Rippin'. Straight Rippin' went ahead and went on to win the match 50 to 41, keeping themselves alive here, trying to fight for another day to compete in the Fall Pro League. So Straight Rippin' has still a bit of a road ahead of them, and they have a big matchup coming up later on. They'll potentially have to play Oxygen Supremacy one more time.
That is going to be a fiery rematch. Back to this game though, we saw the stats on screen. Invistus again, just being the dominant force they are. It was interesting backstage. I was talking to a lot of the European pros that are out here at DreamHack, and they were kind of under the same impression as me in terms of this series, in terms of predictions. If Supremacy can get firing early on, they definitely can win this series, and it was kind of split 50-50. Some teams saying Invistus, some people were saying that Supremacy could take this series, but so far it looks like Invistus are the real deal. Don't forget, this team only dropped a single series this season of Pro League, and that was to the team that went on undefeated in Fuse. So Invistus, they're no slumps themselves, and it was actually Snipe Drone in that game going 15-9, definitely the standout performer on the Invistus side. So nice to see kind of everyone on Invistus so far really stepping up to the plate, and the boys on your screen, they are down 2-0 here at the summer season finals at DreamHack Atlanta.
Yeah, not bad for these players at all. Jimbo looking composed. You see Snipe Drone, like you said, coming back and feeling revitalized. You see they're just super composed, talking about what they're going to do for this next game, and really staying very talkative. And that's what you got to do. Just keep it moving forward, keep it going. Keep thinking about that next game. What's your beginning strat? So kind of with how things have played out Do you think Invictus has gone back and really kind of studied Supremacy's VOD quite well? It does seem like off the start of the game, especially in that last match, they really just gained control right away. They were able to get overshield and then collapse on Supremacy back in blue base and get the sniper within the first 20 seconds of the game.
I think so. Yeah, I think we said before the series, we said that Ramirez is one of those guys who will go and study film and kind of anti-strat you. And that's honestly what I think has happened right here. I mean, we saw earlier on in the season, it was a lot closer than it was here. But like you said, the strats coming out, the strategies coming out of the side of this man right here on the Invictus side, the UK squad, really just kind of nullifying any kind of momentum that Supremacy wanted to put forward at the start of the game. And this man has been around and seen it all. He's only 22 years of age, but he's been playing since 2009 side. This guy is just knows every trick in the book, and he can read you like a book as well.
Yeah, he has been around for quite some time. I remember playing against him in Halo 3, and when you're around the scene that long, you learn and you take in so much. And it's like, you talk about your Ogre 2s, you talk about your Roys, your lunch boxes, your snipe downs, your pistolas, players that have been around, even some of the other players throughout
Like
the entire scene.
Side, Walshy, you know those guys?
Yeah, some of those guys
Some of those
too.
guys?
I don't know if they, I don't think they play anymore.
No?
They may not have, actually, I think one of them, that strong side dude, he's got some skill. So Walshy,
I heard it was the other way around. But Ramirez is going to be very flattered that you're mentioning him in the same vein as those types of players, you know, like the Roys, the Pistolas. But experience really is invaluable in Halo, your right side. But going into this next one, Strongholds Plaza, yeah, it's going to be tough for Supremacy to come back in this series, especially on this game side.
Supremacy has a heck of a road ahead of them, and just in as well, we just heard from the floor, Straight Rippin' will confirmed play Oxygen Supremacy for the rematch to make it to the next season of Pro League. So they'll get their rematch against Oxygen. Oxygen definitely kind of put them to the ground earlier. Oxygen Supremacy really put a pound into Straight Rippin'. So they've got to turn up something. They've got to change something up because it's not looking good for Straight Rippin' currently.
But an interesting dynamic to that series is we saw kind of close games earlier on. I mean, it's going to be Straight Rippin' coming in with the momentum in this series now. And don't forget, Oxygen Supremacy actually lost their last series. So that could honestly play in Straight's favor with, the momentum being on their side. It could just be that push they need to push them back into the Pro League. Who would have thought it, though, if that were to happen? Oxygen Supremacy not making the Pro League. Could you imagine?
Everyone had them as your #1 team. Ronin came here like a different squad playing here at this live event. And a lot of people said, Ronin, they play different at a live event. They have a lot more teamwork. They're more focused. They're more in tune, and that's honestly what we saw from them. But here in this game, look at this. Invictus already putting a beating here to Supremacy. Shotgun kill after shotgun kill. Snipe drone going for the triple. He gets taken down, but they were holding a trip cap there for about a minute and a half, going up 33-0. Cristola now flanking around, trying to get some eyes here on these flankers, and he's going to get behind the team. He'll pick up an easy kill. Another one shot ahead of him on that light rifle. So Cristola now just re-controlling the yard, about to get another trip cap.
Yeah, another triple cap in favor of Invictus. And you know what? I hear the cries of the Twitch chat. They say, hey, why don't we turn the outlines off for a little while? You know what, guys? There you go. They're off. We'll keep them off for the rest of the game. We'll keep Twitch chat happy for now. How about you guys stop whining and go back to whining about codes, okay? We've got the outlines off. Let's just enjoy the game.
Well, as this happens, Supremacy does get some points on the board for just a moment, and they are not going to be able to hold that for very long. Invictus is just able to recapture immediately and get the... actually, you're going to have SLG help out and get that capture there at bottom mid. So now, going back into the favor. But you know what happens with Strongholds. Anything can happen. We saw that insane match earlier with Oxygen Supremacy and Straight Rippin'. It was down to the wire, 99 seconds, and Straight Rippin' almost brought it back, and here it is, a trip cap from Supremacy.
Yeah, the French squad answering back. It was actually a very nice play from them to push around to get the nest, but also Ramirez grabbing the second camouflage of the game was taken down immediately. That's going to give them a lot of confidence, and they are still holding this total control. When you have total control against you, you have to make a decision. Do you push the yard? Do you push the nest? And honestly, if you push in one by one or just don't win the team fights, you're just going to get that stronghold reset. And look, it's going to be 3 down. Cristola, the first one to spawn right here for Invictus. And honestly, Supremacy, I feel like they are right back in this game. That was so well played from them, and they are still holding this total control.
All right, well, let's move over to one of the players here on Supremacy. And these players, these are French players. So I want to hear a listen in.
Oui, oui.
Shout out to all the French players that are watching at home. Let's jump to a listen in. Let's hear some call outs. We're going to an Astro listen in with Supremacy.
Un mort. Oui, très vrai, très vrai, one shot. Nice,
On late, les gars, on late.
Escadrille. Ça joue, les gars, on laisse pas les ça va être 20 000, ça joue. Nice. Babine one shot, je monte top in one shot. Top in. Il fait. Bien joué, ça a 3 morts. Deep, je le push. Café maintenant. Je le push, je suis avec toi. 2 fleurs, 2, 3. Le Cabo à 50. One shot, absolute. Nice, GG. Encore un flower. Le Cabo flower. Flower pour le yard, les gars. J'arrive. Le Cabo maintenant. Regarde. J'y vais, je sens le Cabo. GG. J'arrive en yard, je suis balcon. Oh ta merde! Je suis en soda. Encore?
Ça tout, les gars.
J'arrive. Je suis quel côté?
Regarde.
Côté bombe. Regarde,
Encore.
Encore light.
Allez, touchez, les gars.
Le push, nice, tu m'en
Ça va spawn café.
Fleur,
Solar, il bloque le S.
Fleur, Jimbo. Ça va peut-être aller en cours, je pense. Fleur, je regarde. Trunch, j'arrive. En cours.
Ok, j'ai besoin d'aller en cours, les gars.
Bien joué ça.
Nice, c'est bien les open. Je fais ça. J'arrive, je suis là encore.
And there you have it. Supremacy look like they are about to close out this game. Multi-kill after multi-kill from every player on this squad, and they have done it. Supremacy answer back after going down 48-3 at the beginning of the game. That trip cap, they could not let it go. They held on the entire time. What a series of plays there from Supremacy.
How do you let that happen if you are Invictus? I mean,
that's definitely revitalizing them right there. They're feeling good.
When you have a triple cap against you, you can't make plays individually. You can't push in one by one. And to be fair, they weren't doing that. They had a couple of plays where they were pushing in yard with 3 people, and that's what you should do. But they just couldn't focus on the same things. Check out SLG, team captain. 15 kills from him, leading the squad and most captures. In fact, they all pretty much had the same amount of captures in the game as well. But look at the secures from SLG. 8 from him. That is a great stat line.
Not a lot of assists coming out from Invictus. Only 1 assist from Cristola. He's able to finish off a lot of kills there, getting 11. But definitely, SY, they kicked it up a notch there. About a few minutes into the game. I mean, I believe it was 48-3. I mean, we'll see here in just a moment. 35-0, just 42-0. And they're able to just absolutely just get complete control and little by little bring this game back and not let that trip cap go. What a series of events.
They held that triple cap pretty much until the end of the game, which honestly, I think that's one of the first times I've ever seen that. I mean, that's very rare in this kind of level of play, even between 2 top European teams. Often you'll see them go back and forth and make really good pushes to secure those strongholds. But Invictus, they almost seemed in a state of fibrillation. They were kind of just flip-flopping everywhere. They didn't really know where they wanted to go. They made a couple of coordinated pushes, but it seemed like Supremacy were just one step ahead of them every single time. And that's going to give them the momentum going into this next game, Mike. It's going to be a great one. I can't wait for it. That was sick. That was so good.
Without a doubt, they've definitely shaken up Invictus a little bit. Let's take a look at the series layout, though, and see how we got there. If you're just tuning in, this is winners bracket round 1 of the championship bracket. 2 European teams, Invictus versus Supremacy. We saw Invictus take game number 1 and game number 2, but Supremacy was able to turn things around a little bit into the game after being down by so much and win game number 3 in quite a dominant fashion. Going into Fathom CTF, though, definitely going to have to be focused on a lot of teamwork here, making sure you're watching those spawns. Tell me a little bit, like, where are they trying to run the flag? What spawns are they trying to block?
Honestly, it kind of depends. You're looking at Fathom as it being kind of one of those game types where you can have a rolling setup, kind of like a dynamic setup. If a teammate's calling out he's blocking solo, you want to kind of run it more direct through bottom middle so you have that cover from the players spawning on the big door. If you are getting a call that your teammates are spawning low and spawning elbows, blocking those big door spawns, you want to run it through the pit again so that you have the most cover from the enemy team spawners. It's all about running the flag to wherever your teammates are blocking. You know, you need that added little bit of cover from the spawners that are going to try and take you down, but also you need your teammates getting height on the players that are trying to push forward, those spawners that are coming up, making sure they're getting damaged and making sure they can't get that return, man, because so many times we see goal line stands on this map and often stalemate situations as well. So look for both of those things. Flag runs towards the blocked spawns and also players trying to get height on those players trying to overextend.
And I think after seeing Eden Slayer, definitely looks like Supremacy needs to put some more focus towards this camo here. We saw them lose overshield after overshield on Eden Slayer. So here we go, game number 4, capture the flag on Fathom, 3 caps to win. You've got Railgun bottom middle, camo at top middle. We're gonna kick things off with Snipe Drone of Invictus, pushing across here through the red sub, across the other side, past the 50-yard line. Railgun is still up. They're already pushing into the base. Picks up the perfect kill with the light rifle. When you have that zoomed in, it is a 3-shot kill. He's able to get the flag moving, gets it down to the blue pit. One player goes down. That's going to be Jimbo trying to assist him there to get the rally, but that's Cristola. He's keeping that flag moving all the way to the front of his base, but look at this. 2 players come around. They're able to return that flag immediately. Having multiple players on that flag returns the flag extremely fast, and they pick it up, and then they're gone.
And that's what we were talking about, those spawners overextending. That's what you need to look out for if you are trying to run a flag. Jimbo does have the railgun in his possession right here, so watch for Invictus to get those +1s thanks to this power weapon if Jimbo can connect with them. And then after that, they need to start blocking those spawns, thinking about pushing into the base, clearing out players. They already have a player behind them, and who else would it be other than Ramirez, the objective mastermind. Check out in the kill feed again, another +1 from Jimbo. So now it's all about, you know, not worrying about those spawners so much, but looking for those players trying to push forward to kill Ramirez right here. He is no shield, so wouldn't be surprised to see him just take a little bit of time right here, get his shields, and then put this flag in. There you go, 1-0.
I love that play. Ramirez didn't need to get that flag cap. He didn't need to rush it. He just let his teammate finish it off, got behind the sub, stayed alive, made himself such a hard kill. You saw all the desperation nades coming in, and it didn't matter. His teammate was able to just swiftly go in to cap the flag, going up 1-0. Over to SLG now. He gets taken down. 1 player down for each team. SLG did have the railgun as well. Camo's going to be coming up here in just a moment, along with railgun at bottom mid. So we're going to see the flag start moving here from the Invictus side, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to keep it going down to the sub. Ramirez turning back around, trying to clear out his base. That's going to be Punisher trying to finish him off there. Railgun's up right now as well. I believe that went into the hands of Solar, but it doesn't matter. Ramirez finishes off the cap. They're up 2-0. If Invictus win this game, they are moving on to round number 2.
Yeah, and Solar does have the railgun here for the French squad, but they can't afford to surrender any more flag captures, otherwise this series will be over. So, watch out for them to try and get a little bit more control, and this is a great way to do so. Check out the kill feed. 4 members of Invictus in a row going down. That's going to swing the momentum of the map in terms of the blue team. It's going to go in their favor. The French squad Supremacy now are going to try and flood forward, but check out Jimbo picking up 2. Could be on for a triple right here, but instead will get straight up top and look for some of these spawners with this power weapon. I love this play, and the camouflage has been and gone, so top middle control not really that vital at this moment in time for that particular power up and that particular reason, but still a very powerful position to rain down damage on the enemy team.
Great shots from Jimbo, and look at this teamwork, pushing up with his teammate here, trying to tag team this player. Does get that player finished off, but players pushing in through the door. A perfectly placed grenade. That's a killing spree, double kill, and they're moving the flag. 3 down for SY. This could be it. That's all she wrote here. Jimbo running the flag in uncontested. No shots. He's bouncing around a little bit, but that is gonna do it. Invictus take game number 4, and they will move on to the winner's bracket, round 2 in the championship bracket, as Supremacy fall to the elimination bracket.
Listen, man, that windowsill on Fathom's pretty slippery. I don't mind Jimbo jumping around right there because Invictus had the slaves.
How many times have we seen players just, that flag, sometimes they throw it up, it hits the ceiling, sometimes it bounces back. It's definitely a place you got to be very careful of when you're one of these players. But taking a look at the stats here, we've got Jimbo again.